separate video on that. So I will just show the screen of Professor, but not really necessary saying much about it so that we don't waste our time this morning. Okay, so Professor Dr. Mehreen Mia from South Africa has been sharing very important topic on emotional intelligence. And our next topic will be nuggets of wisdom for relationship, marriage, and family. So without wasting much of anybody's time, let us invite her again to share with us on nuggets of wisdom. If you want to know more about our professor, he's our ambassador and Global Goodwill Ambassador for UNGIA USA, holding dual doctorate in humanity, education, and humanitarian, and through our international and local work in education and resource training. Ms. Mia has earned multiple global awards, including her most recent award being the world most influential and iconic leader, as well as the award for Global Academic Excellence Award and the International Confederation of Worldwide Principals and James International School. So if you want to know more, Professor Mia is an international co-author of an amazing best-selling relationship book, Relationship Matters, Volume 1 to 4, with YYCI, and the honorary Queen Elizabeth Lucas. Ms. Mia is a lifelong learner and woman of purpose. So you can see she is the most inspiring woman of the earth, awarded Mehreen by IIU, and also international public speaker and women empowerment specialist, sitting on multiple women's forum, GBV platform, and head up COVID-19 and various communal initiatives to empower humanity at large. Let me also quickly say she is the founder. Professor Mehreen Mia is the founder of the MIA project, program designed to help every individual to motivate, inspire, and advance themselves to the best version for their journey. She is an NLP master and CBT practitioner, being a transformational mental health wellness advocate globally, and is passionate about empowering of women, children, youth, humanity. Professor Mia is the president of Success World One Academic at South Africa, vice president of Yes You Can South Africa, and also president of Chicago International Women's Council, among our portfolio. So let me welcome back again. So I just use that one so that she can have a breath, she can drink water, she can stretch. So that is why I have to do that, because health is wealth. And when we are giving and delivering to the world, we also need to take care of ourselves. So now we welcome her back. Professor Dr. Ambassador Mehreen Mia from South Africa. The stage is yours, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for the welcome again and the beautiful introduction. And I also greet Dr. Stephen again. Lovely to have you, sir. Thank you to everyone for joining us. And again, I will just wish, because it's a second recording, I will wish everybody again Happy Africa Day from South Africa in Africa.
Yes.
So
Oh,
greet
yes.
everybody.
Oh, yes. Let me join my professor to say, as the Professor Dr. Mehreen Mia from South Africa, and myself being the Global African Queen, we wish you all Happy African Day. Be strong, be bold, and take up your treasures, because you are unique. Say Africa. Hi, Africa. Yes, you can. All right.
Yes, we can. Thank you so much. So I'm going to talk just for, not too long, but not
Okay.
too quick either.
Yeah.
It will be about nuggets,
Mhm.
nuggets of wisdom. And if you got a pen and paper, write down what you feel is necessary. If not, listen to what it is. But with everything, I'm hoping that someone is going to resonate with one of the nuggets that you're going to take away that's going to help you as an individual for you. Maybe something I say is going to be something that you're going to want to share with somebody else because it hints to you that somebody might need to hear it. So write it down for them. But it's simply just the nuggets. It's nuggets of wisdom. Most of them are stuff that I know, that I learned, became wise about through my own experiences of difficulties. Others I've learned from other people I've counseled or taught. And some of them are purely because they're quotations that I like. So we're going to start. The first thing I want to talk about is, remember, earlier on I spoke about emotional intelligence. And one of the important things I keep telling everybody about is to please be aware of you and your gut instinct. You and this gut feeling that you seem to have, the gut intuition that you have, and you sometimes neglect. That gut feeling is your guiding system. I firmly believe that. It's our internal guiding system that can keep us safe and it can help us to move in directions of our goals clearly when we listen to it. If you have the guts to follow your gut feeling, then you're going to use it to become personally very positive and the best that you can be in your version. That's about your gut feeling. My next point is about relationships. So where you are now, in whatever your relationship is, with whomever you're having a relationship with, whether it's in your marital relationship, your parent-child relationship, your student-teacher relationship, your friend relationship, whatever relationship you're having, even if it's your business one, your relationships are at a specific point of where they're at now because they literally are built on a cumulative effect of what the combined past relationships you would have had with habits, decisions, all of those things contribute to the kind of relationship you are in at the moment. So the habits and decisions that you have now in your relationships are what you wove together in your different experiences that you encountered. So, right now, the key for you is to be able to take conscious charge of where you're at in your relationships. Take this conscious charge from, I know what I have done, I know what I have experienced, and I'm now going to take it forward to change the course of my relationships for the better forever. Because that control still sits with you. Next, if you don't take time to introspect, if you don't take the time out to become aware of you as a self, if you don't take the time out to become aware of you and your emotional status, your triggers, anything about you, if you don't take the time out for your introspection, you're going to end up being stuck most of the time. And usually you're going to be stuck in a lifespan of stuff about you that you're not happy with. You actually don't want the kind of lifestyle, but you're stuck in it because you don't do the introspection. Control about your life is in your hand. It is in your mind. It is your heart. It is you. So, you as the individual, you've got to be able to know your mind and know yourself. Your mind needs to be actively involved in creating your current and your future experiences. You have to understand what's happened in your past to make sure that you understand where you're at now in your present, and for you to learn, how do I prepare then for my future? What do I want? You cannot create happy, healthy relationships because you're sitting on this autopilot mode. You need to introspect. You need to take the time to reflect. And that is how you're going to be able to detect and take action in whatever direction your relationship goals need to go through. That is within your control. Next, everything that we encounter in life, everything that happens, your mind attracts it. You attract everything that happens with you by what you are focusing your mind on, whether it's consciously, whether it's subconsciously, but you attract what you focus your mind on. You allow instructions to reach your brain from your thought and even from your self talk, the things you tell yourself all the time. These are words that you allow into yourself. So you need to become a very good um, gatekeeper, so to speak. You have to be able to understand this inflow of information and be aware of what is going in through to your brain, because that information is being programmed. And that information that's being programmed is programming you, is shaping you, and is building you up for the relationships that you are going to be having. So be very focused on what you are consciously or even subconsciously pushing into your mind as information through the thoughts. Your thoughts are being created by something. What is it being created from? When it comes to relationships, my next point is key, because we can be people that love wholeheartedly. I could be somebody who loves other people, but it could be that the people that I love are not good enough, or good people for me, not good enough. So people that I love might not necessarily be good people for me. And we have to learn this difference. You have to learn the difference of, I love so many, but it doesn't mean that because I love them, the love is reciprocated. Are you giving too much of energy and effort into a space where it's not really welcomed? So we need to learn this difference of, who do we need to love? Who do we need to give time and energy to? Because what is not good and what is toxic needs to be seen for what it really is. Learn the difference. We need to learn, how do we balance our time well between the good influences and the bad influences. The people that we associate ourselves with do shape our thoughts. And when they shape our thoughts, they shape our emotions, our feelings, and everything about us. So they start to shape our lives. Can you imagine if we are allowing toxicity to be shaping our lives? We are setting ourselves up for toxicity to take over. So be very aware of these differences and balance yourself between the good influence and the bad. That only you can decipher by being honest with yourself. Next would be, we all want beautiful relationships. We all want good results. We all want to be happy. We all want to be healthy. But we need to know small things that are not money orientated to find that. We need to build love, whether it's with your parents, your children, people around you. Build through love and kindness. It's your key. Through that, you will develop a sense of trust and care. And you will earn respect. You will give respect. And respect begets respect. We know that. When we learn that, you're going to be able to learn communication skills. You're going to build friendships. And through those friendships, you build commitment. But it starts by you learning these small aspects of life that are not monetary. They are not gained from money, and they don't go to money. It's all about you, what you give off, what you learn, what you give off to others, and what is perceived between the both of us. When we play roles in our lives, I play a specific role in my life, but the people around me also play their roles in my life too. So each of us has to play our own role in life of someone. Right now, what is your role that you are playing in the lives of people around you? We always play roles in our happiness and our misery. And most often, the role that we are playing is what we define that level of happiness and misery by. So when others do play their roles, we still kind of have the responsibility of, how do we respond to their contribution to the role that they are playing. And we cannot force people to change. We cannot force people to change, but we can change. We cannot control other people. I teach this all the time as a nugget, because I can't control people. I can't control their thoughts. I can't control their negativities. I can't control how they feel. I cannot control that. I can't control what they need to think about me, whether they need to like me or not. I can't control that. I can control me. I can control my reactions to them. So I cannot force people about stuff and how I want them to change, but I can change. I can change my reactions to them when I figure out the roles, the responsibilities, the neglects, the negatives. And then I can respond accordingly to that. That's where my power sits. Which leads me to my next one. Words that we use. You know, when words kind of escape you and you don't know what to say, sometimes you utter the wrong things at the wrong time, and that can push whatever discussion you're having with whomever that relationship is with. It pushes that relationship in the wrong direction because you said the wrong thing at the wrong time. being aware of you as an individual is going to help you to learn, when do I need to remain silent? Sometimes silence becomes the best form of communication. And when you become silent, it's the 2-minute timeout that you need. Or it could be the 2-minute timeout of your silence that the other person needs. But sometimes make silence your friend. You don't need to constantly be speaking. You don't need to constantly react. You're going to see 20 different messages on your phone. You don't have to react to every single one of them immediately. People will keep saying things all the time. You don't have to react to each of them. Silence yourself. Silence your mind. Silence can help you dissipate things. Silence can also be this great way of making your actions and other people's actions more profound, as opposed to what they would be if you don't have the silent position. So silence can help you find the peace. It can help you to create a peace level. It can help to create clarity, which in turn will allow you how to plan your next move properly. But silence is not bad. Silence can be good. Silence can help you, give you the 2-minute introspection you need. So learn, when do I have to respond? And even when you have to have levels of educations and smart things start to happen to you, many people feel that there is a need to be very vocal about it. I need to make sure the world knows I did this. I need to make sure the world knows that I accomplished this. I need the world to be knowing these things about me. I need the world to acknowledge my status level. What happens if you just silently keep being who you are and the world keeps engaging with you because it knows the difference you're making? You don't have to be the one who's actively speaking out about you, but the world knows the difference you're making. So your silence sometimes can be to your benefit. You need to kind of suss out what does work for you and what doesn't. My next nugget is about communication. Most often, people that come to me and that I have to help with life and their life issues is simply because there wasn't communication, or the communication was wrong. Communication is key. And when you have to communicate your need, you need to do it effectively. Part of learning about you is to learn, how do I communicate effectively, but also how do I perceive other people who are communicating with me? So communicate your needs rather than expecting other people to think and be psychic about what your needs are. Because most often we seem to have this level of expectation. I have this level of expectation of people and their reactions about what I've done. But they don't know that they have to do that. They don't have memos about what they're supposed to be giving you. What is your expectation level? They don't know. So if you're not communicating your need, how are you going to get the reaction? And when you don't get the reaction, you have this negative effect about you. They don't know why you're upset. They never knew they had to react in a specific way. They were not given your need. So communicate your need rather than expect other people to know what your need is. So, what if you've already told him or her 3 times that it's important to you? Do you have to communicate it further? Not necessarily, but if you haven't said it at all to somebody, then how are you supposed to be upset when they don't conform to something you're expecting? Don't leave relationships to expectations. Speak up. Speak up, no matter what the relationship is that I'm talking about, whichever relationship you are in right now. You need to be able to speak what your need is, even if it is a need to stop something that's negative. It has to be spoken. We have to be able to voice who we are, what we're thinking, what we're feeling. That is absolute key for building relationships. How do we able to say something that's negative in a very nice way, which is going to be respected? Remember, respect begets respect. A key point of wisdom is to learn this art of forgiveness. It's something many people battle with. But I personally have been through so many difficulties, so many traumas, so many moments of tears and trauma. But the biggest form of healing that comes for me personally is when I forgive those who created the trauma. Instead of sitting with this, I can't stand you because you've done this to me. It takes a lot out of you to get to a point where you forgive them and you let them go. But that art of forgiveness is so key for you to growing yourself to move forward. You have to be able to forgive people, including yourself, mind you, if you want to move forward in your life. There's no better way to keep yourself or anything else stuck than by you repeatedly focusing on the mistake, repeatedly focusing on the pain, repeatedly focusing on something that was so negative. We work with it and we move towards positivity. Part of your healing process is to let it go. Forgive. Forgive them and forgive yourself for being there. Let it go, especially if you want to build a better you after the trauma you experience. Let it go. Forgive the spaces that need to be forgiven. Forgive yourself to be in the space that you were there, and then move forward. Next, there's too much of life that is now experienced in isolation. I see it all the time, and it's becoming almost painful. Most of it is due to these technological advances, which we can't quite take away from life right now. But, and I'm talking about life for family. Half the time, we're finding that everyone in a family is sitting on devices. We will sit together in the lounge, but each one has their own device. How is that connectivity? How is that getting to be family? How is that a uniting space? We have get-togethers with families and everybody's on their own. Everybody's talking about their own thing. Nobody's engaging with each other to find out about each other. So too much of life right now is about isolation. We don't even know we're isolating from people. We don't even know it. And you will know it when it's the painful way. Why do I have to have parents come to me and say, I need to text my child to say, come to dinner, because the child is stuck in the room? The only way for me to communicate is through the phone. Why? Children seem to want to have their food in front of a TV screen. Why? Where is this level of connecting with the self? Where is this effort that we're putting into with connecting daily with each other in our home, with our loved ones? How do we indulge with each other in activities to ensure that we grow together rather than growing apart? Where is the sense of we even pray together? Do you pray together? Do you do things together as a family unit? Do you do things together with loved ones? We need to divide our hours a day between all these important elements of our lives, not just for immediate, urgent, necessary things, but for lifestyle. That connectedness is so, so important. Let's try and learn. Put the devices away, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes a day, but give each other the time to create memories together, because life is that short. And then you don't want to lose people and then wonder, do I still have the text message that they sent me? So that is my memory. Is that the memory you want to create or have from somebody? Won't you want to have this memory embedded within you of the feeling the person created when you sat with them, shared a story, their laugh when you watch their face? These are important things to take away, not a message on a phone. So do not become isolated and be aware of these isolation things that are happening around you. Most people will ask, all I see is what I know. So all you know is all you see. And many people around you are only going to show you what they want you to see. So we need to teach our children, and we ourselves need to learn that we have to stop comparing with other people. Compare with others to assist with understanding certain concepts may be good. But to compare with other people because it makes you feel negative or inferior or them feel superior, no. This is not healthy, because then what are we doing? We're teaching ourselves and others that we are not good enough. We are teaching ourselves that it's okay for them to be superior than us. Doesn't work. It doesn't work for you holistically to be okay, because it means you're going to constantly self-doubt. You have to constantly compare. You're going to constantly be needing the negatives. You're going to constantly need the validations. No. We need to learn this art of I am happy with who I am in the space I'm in. I'm grateful to be who I am with the little that I have. That gratitude makes me whole. I'm happy. I'm okay. I'm content. If somebody next to me has got 10 times more than me, so be it. I'm happy for them too. But I'm still happy with who I am. Our children nowadays are hitting the negatives. Why? Because there's this constant comparison. They compare themselves with somebody who comes in a smart car versus somebody who comes with no car. How do you do a comparison? You can't have children do that. Children have to learn to engage regardless of what backgrounds are, regardless of what status levels are. And don't go and belittle and demean somebody because you don't understand who they are. I do not have to go out there and publicize all the different things that I do for people to respect who I am. Respect me. But also know that if you need to find out about me, ask me. Do not transgress boundaries and go and start to create things that are negative about me. Ask, find out, get to know. But do not say and compare, because that comparison can also become a downfall in the relationship you're trying to build. Many relationships fall flat simply because there's this comparison that's always being drawn. I need to be better than so and so. I have to keep comparing myself to other people. I assume this about other people's relationships because of certain pictures that I see on TV, certain things I see on social media. That is not you. People will portray a beautiful family photograph on social media, a whole family that's happy. That's a photograph. It's a photograph moment. Everybody was smiling for the photograph. We don't know the context in which the photograph was taken. It could be that all those people in the photograph actually not talking to each other, but they needed the family photographs, so they were standing and smiling. You don't know what you're watching on social media, the context in which it comes from. So you cannot compare to that. Compare within yourself. Compare your you today versus your you tomorrow. My you today versus my you of yesterday. What have I changed about me today that makes me better today? Compare you with you. That keeps growing you as a person, and that becomes healthy. My next point is about communication again. It's very important because communication is everything. Even the non-verbal communication is almost like uttering the word. We become so hardwired within ourselves that sometimes our thoughts and emotions seep out. And your internal dialogue with yourself and your body language also loses the reality when other people are observing you. Yet it's also very easily detected when somebody is very empathetic. And when people sense something doesn't feel right with so and so, it's because something about your demeanor is not correct. So communication becomes key to understanding and clarifying these things. When I notice something is not good about somebody, is it really so difficult for me to pick up the phone or send a message to say, I saw you today and you were not looking okay. Is everything all right? Or does that make me a small person? It doesn't. It shows you have heart, and that's what humanity needs, the heart. We all need to be there for each other. And that gut feeling I spoke about earlier comes into play sometimes that makes you see that in other people and makes other people see it in you too. The next one is about actions. We all know the saying, action speaks louder than words. Even if those actions are masked under the words, but the point is the actions speak. And I ask you, when there are people that are saying and doing things out there, how do you respond to others when that happens? So how you respond to others, whether you send them ongoing messages that don't stop, whether you convey messages through a telephone call, your actions and reactions are all about acceptance. Do I accept what they are saying? Do they accept what I am saying? Again, linked to the communication. Do we communicate effectively at all? Most often in life, circumstances happen where we become angry. When you become angry and frustrated, sometimes you have this, I'm so angry and I don't know how to speak. I have this inability or refusal to identify with words and thoughts and emotions, so nothing comes out correctly. And when this happens, you're not able to correctly identify what the negative emotion is that you're feeling, and you don't know how to put it into words. Then your body enters a response space that is fight or flight mode. And then this puts up this very almost alerted state about you with senses, adrenaline rush, and then everybody doesn't know what to do when you are in that space because they don't know what's happening with you. This kind of anger that comes up can be dissipated if you confront the thought and emotion when it happens. And that is why it's so important for you to be so aware of who you are, what your triggers are, what happens to you with certain people, with certain things, in certain spaces, so that you can learn how to control your anger. How do I control my emotion? How do I control the thought processes that happen when things are happening with me? This is all very important because then you know how to label them. Don't worry, I'm coming to the close in case you're getting tired. But important for me is all of us need to learn how to understand that everyone's experiences are important to them. It might appear like it's boring to you, but their experience is their life's lesson. You and I may be sitting at the same event, but we may experience what's happening at that event very differently. And we need to respect that, acknowledge that the experiences and the feelings of everybody can be different, but accept it. There's no such thing as we all have to feel the same and we all have to think the same. No, each one of us is different. So we can be in the same space watching the same thing, but our experience about what we're watching can be very different, and that needs to be respected. Same thing applies to our feelings, our behaviors, and our results of life, what life throws at us. It all begins with the thoughts that you have, and you control your thoughts. So you can change your thought and your patterns of thought and your emotional triggers from them at any given time. That's the kind of power you have. Are you aware that you can do that? The beliefs that we adopt because of life. Life gives us all these experiences and learning curves, and even the negatives become our lessons. These lessons of life come up to us, and they sometimes change our course and direction in life, but it makes you come back to the straight path of life. And when this happens, sometimes your goal is not achieved as quickly as you'd like it to, but you can't question your belief and your value. You can look and relook at yourself to redefine you, to stay on your path so that you're able to release and replace what's not supposed to be there with what's supposed to be there, etc. You have to serve you first before you serve in any relationship you are in, by staying true to who you are and your belief and value system. You know, it's sometimes very difficult to face up when you have bad qualities about you. Many people don't like to admit they have negatives about them. And part of becoming an empowered somebody, part of learning senses of wisdom, part of finding strategies that will work and changing things about you is by being honest about the bad about you. There are bad things about all of us. I had to learn. I am still learning. There are still probably bad things about me too. And sometimes other people point it out to you and you give thanks for that, because it's not easy to face up to your own. But it's easier to face up to what is bad about me than for me to live a life that is affected by what's bad about me. Because then my whole life becomes bad. I spiral in this thing of bad, bad versus bad. Instead of me learning, this is now bad. I'm at a point where I'm stuck. I want to learn. I want to unlearn the bad and relearn new things. And your relationship with yourself is key for that to happen, because your relationship building with yourself will help improve your relations with others, and then the excuses stop. The excuses that you keep thinking that stop you and hold you back, they stop, because you suddenly realize what's bad and you transform them to what's good. Sometimes it takes other people to point it out to you. So be it. Let it be and give gratitude. In life, and right now I can tell anybody this, the key for you changing anything about life, the lessons that you will take from life's experiences, is all about you looking at life in your rearview mirror. Your rearview mirror is there for you to look back at your life and take the lessons from there. That rearview mirror, though, is only for learning. It's only for learning. When I look back at my life, I cannot live in my past. I cannot live in there with all of that difficulty and all. Those are experiences that I went through to get to this point. Now it's time to move forward. I cannot live there. So the rearview mirror analogy of looking at your life, I'm looking at my past. It does not mean when I look at my past, I live there. I look at my past to learn from there. What do I take away? So my rearview mirror is only for learning, not for living. It is not for living. I don't live in my past. I don't live in that past pain. I moved past that. I learned through it. Staring into that rearview mirror for too long and all the time is what can cause you to have unnecessary problems within yourself too. I know because I did that. I was at a point where I used to sit and go on with I used to feel that introspection is about me going backward. It's not. Introspection is about taking what I learned from there and making it happen for me now positively. How do I change it? Constantly going backward means I'm living in that mistake. I don't want to live there anymore. I want to move forward. So take the lesson from there, let that go, forgive that. Forgive those people, forgive everybody, forgive yourself for what you went through in that review mirror. Forgive yourself and make it a new beginning. I'm here now. I got through that. That review mirror is just to say, it's gone. I'm here now. Let me make the change for me now. That is where my strength lies. That is where I become better at who I am. And that's where, there's one quotation I love. And when I'm doing women empowerment programs, I very often use it. I'll use it here, but it's not just for women. I want you as a person to apply it, but it's for women. And the quote reads that a strong woman knows she has strength for her journey. But a woman of strength knows it is in that journey that she will become strong. I'll say it again. And I'll say it as a person. Okay, we're changing the code a little bit. A strong person will know that they always will have strength for the journey. But a person who has strength knows it's in that journey that they will become stronger. You have to go through what you have to go through in your life to become the stronger person of you, the stronger version of you. You already have the strength. How many times has it been that in life you sat and you said, I'm never going to get through this. I don't know how I'm going to get through this point. Guess what? You got through it. You got through it. Guess why? Because you already have resilience within you, because you are given God ordained strength inside you. It is up to you to tap into that strength to keep going on life's journey. God gave you the strength already. You got through those points in your review mirror. You got to this point. You keep moving. And you keep moving only because the journey keeps going. You have to keep going on your journey, but you have the strength inside you that is God-given strength already. Your strength within you is from your Creator, and who knows better than to keep giving you more and more strength. So delve into the strength. I'm going to conclude by giving you two quotes which I love from Madiba, our beloved Nelson Mandela. And it's purely because of being Africa Day. I'm keeping with the Africa theme and I'm giving our African leader quotation. But it's not just about the struggle. The quotations for me mean a lot for life. And his first quotation that I love is about forgiveness, where Madiba said, forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. And that is why it's such a powerful weapon. That is his quote. I'll read it again. Quote, forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. And that is why it's such a powerful weapon, unquote. And if you read Madiba's book on The Long Walk to Freedom, he was asked about how he feels. Was he not scared when he was in prison? And how could he actually be so okay with the people that put him there? And there is when he talks about this art of being forgiving. His forgiveness came there because his forgiveness of those who harmed him or did whatever to him and his family, that liberated his soul. And his source of strength comes from that soul. And then it just removed any fear that he had. That became his source of power. That's where he started to think about his methods and what he'd like to do. And his vision stayed intact for what he wanted. So pick up that book. It's a wonderful asset. His next quotation, which I will conclude with today, is, and I quote again from Madiba, for to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but it's rather to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. I'll say it again. To be free, so basically to be free in my holistic sense, is not about casting off my own chains. Casting off my own chains is not going to just give me freedom. But to be free actually means that I live my life in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of other people too. When I create and cut off those chains of other people, when I help other people to see themselves better, live better, enhance humanity and the lives of people, when I see that their freedom is there, when I show respect for other people's freedom, when I help to enhance their being, their freedom that's necessary for them, that is when I'm allowing myself to be free. So, by the same token, related to what he said about forgiveness, I can forgive everybody, but I need to forgive myself too. That is the art of removing any form of fear. So, those are my few nuggets of wisdom for today. And I'm hoping it impacts somebody and creates wisdom with other people that you too can learn. These are some of the wisdoms I learned through my own life. And of course, these are quotations that I live by. This one about strength of a woman is really my philosophy. And I stand by it because I know I found most of my strength through my journey. And I know I'm equipped with enough strength to keep going on my journey. But in that journey, I will still keep finding more stronger points too. Thank you so much, dear Professor Dr. Queen
Oh,
Elizabeth Lucas.
wow.
Thank
Wow.
you, YY.
Wow. Wow. That is, I've written it. Guess what I've written down? Mind blowing nuggets of wisdom by Professor Dr. Mehreen Mia from South Africa. Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Thank you so
Mind
much.
blowing. Mind blowing. I really want to say thank you so much. You've done so well since morning by giving us, first of all, to teach us on emotional intelligence, which is very powerful. And now you've just shared with us mind-blowing nuggets of wisdom. And I want to say thank you so much for this time. Thank you for sharing with us. We have Professor Dr. Ambassador Mary Mia from South Africa, our South Africa Vice President, sharing our thoughts, sharing a wealth of wisdom and knowledge and experience with us this morning, this Saturday morning. Wow. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank you so much.
we are about to thank you so much. Thank you. We're about to end this program because we are having our children coming from India an hour's time to come and share their story, their stories. So normally they organize. I mean, these children are, they are 10 years old, 10, 9, even the other time, is it not 3 years old that joined them? It's so unique. And they come, they ask, Mom, we want to organize. Thank God for our youth ambassador, Ambassador Sanaya Sai, that is coordinating it. She loves it. That is her job. That's her work. I'm not forcing her to do anything. She just knocked my door and say, Mom, I want to organize this thing regularly. I say, fine, we will support you. It's part of empowering our children and youth. So in an hour's time, we use the same Zoom and the same platform actually. So we continue from there because since we're about to round up this one, but you can reconnect if you really want to join them or no, or so. So I want to say once again, Professor Dr. Ambassador Mary Mia, thank you so much for today. We've squeezed you like orange today since 10 o'clock. I love it. I love it. I always say to people that hanging around with me, especially genuinely hanging around with me, is not easy.
I love it. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so
I
much.
love to bring out the greatness, the leadership, the gift, the talent, the skills that we all have been covering. I love to bring it out. And not only just bringing it out, share it to the world. And you've done
Thank
so
you.
well today. Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
I'm
Thank
so
you
proud.
so
I'm
much.
so proud of you.
Thank you.
Just keep shining, keep riding, keep striving, keep taking position, take territories, touch people's lives, every corner of South Africa, even in the world. Keep speaking,
Thank you.
keep
Thank you
speaking.
so much.
You know, you have what it takes to reach out, to impact, to inspire, and to save lives, especially our children. And yes, we've discussed early this morning, so we have a lot to do together in
Yeah,
South Africa.
yes. It is
Yeah.
definitely possible. It will be done because yes, we can. Thank you so much.
Yes, we
Ron.
can. So thank you so much. Also, I want to acknowledge our mommies in the house, our matron, Dr. Samina Evelyn from Pakistan. She just joined us. I think she's been doing some cooking and tidying up. You know, today is Saturday, but we cannot ignore her presence. You know, she is amazing woman, amazing woman from Pakistan. I'm hoping one day I will travel and visit her in Pakistan and drink some cup of tea and eat some of their food, relax on that settee she's sitting on, and laugh together, joke together, and pray together. I'm looking forward to that time. I'm looking forward. So I want to say thank you, ma'am, for joining us again. Dr. Samina Evelyn from Pakistan, our matron and advisory board member, and also our YYCI International Pakistan president. And also we have our vice president from Pakistan as well that has been with us since morning, Dr. Stephen Cameron. Thank you so much for always being there. I'm looking forward. He is a man of purpose and he's doing great. I mean, he's educated into a medical area up to that, and also still using the same skills to be one of the key leader in a bank. So he works in the bank, someone that is medical oriented or intelligent, now working in the bank. Wow, powerful, powerful. And guess what? And he still have time for us. At any time, he still have time. He's been sharing so many topics with us. He just joined recently, but then I think by now he will be overwhelmed that, oh my God, Queen Elizabeth has really squeezed me like orange. But he's enjoying it, you know. It's not by force. I just asked them, will you be free? Will you do this? And um, I just want to thank. And guess what? Dr. Stephen Cameron is actually the son, the proud son of Dr. Samina. Ooh.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I'm so honored to have this beautiful powerhouse in oh my word. They are my
Family,
oh my word. Thank
family.
you so much. Dr. Samina, it's
Yes.
really lovely to have you here. Your
So
wisdom
that
is
is
so
that is the
beautiful.
seed. That's the
And
seed
to see
of
Dr.
Dr.
Stephen with you here with on this program, I'm honored. I really am honored and I'm humbled to have
Yes,
both of
he's
you
a
here. Thank you
powerful
so much.
man. He's a leader working in a bank, and at the same time, he's also gone through some of this Bible school and all the other things. You know, he's gaining so many knowledge, and that is what we need to do. We keep learning, we keep learning, we keep learning, and we you know, we don't just focus on one thing. We learn many things because you don't know when you will need one of them. Maybe before he became a leader in bank, maybe he's got some leadership skills, management skills, banking skills, and at the same time, medical skills, knowledge. Amazing, amazing.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen Cameron, and thank you, Dr. Samina. Dr.
Thank you.
Stephen I was with him on his other program too. It was excellent. Dr. Samina, your
Excellent,
wisdom amazes me. Thank
excellent,
you both so much
excellent,
for being here today.
excellent, excellent. I really appreciate that. I know
Thank you, ma'am.
he's eager
Thank
to
you very
speak.
much.
Okay,
It's an
yeah,
honor.
Dr.
It's an honor. Yeah.
All right, so let's hear from them before we finish up this program. Dr. Samina, you have something to share with us.
Yeah, it's